Hello, dear children. Today we start human reproduction. So let me start it and just listen. It has more weightage. 2 to 3 questions can be asked from this chapter only. So let me begin. Male reproductive system. It consists of pair of testes, duct system, accessory glands, and external genitalia. External genitalia that is present outside the body. Pair of testes, these are the primary sex organs in which sperms are produced. Duct system, these are the small tubes which carry the sperm and release outside the body or in vagina of the females. Accessory glands, these are the glands which secrete milky fluid or fluid to help the motility or to increase the motility of the sperm. So, duct system, that is reti testes, vasa, effrontia, epididymis, urethra. Epididymis, that is the longest tube. And urethra is that opening which is common for urine also or for releasing sperm also. Now, accessory glands, seminal vesicle, vulvourethral gland and prostate glands are there. So let me begin. Testes, as I told, primary sex organs present outside the abdominal cavity because you know it is present in the scrotum. Why? Because scrotum can maintain the lower temperature from 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius than our body temperature. Because sperm formation is possible in that temperature only. That is 34.5 or 35. And scrotum is what? It is a sac-like structure or bag-like structure. Now, the shape of the testes. 4 to 5 centimeter in length, 2 to 3 centimeter in width. And outermost covering of the testes is formed by the dense fibrous membrane called tunica albuginea. In the competitive exam, it can be asked. Each testis is divided into about 250 compartments, and these compartments are known as testicular lobules. In each lobules, 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules are there, and seminiferous tubules that produces sperms. And each seminiferous tubules that is lined by 2 specialized cells. These are Sertoli cells and male germ cells. Male germ cells that help in the formation of sperm. That is why these are also known as spermatogonia. Sperm are always released in more amount because they have to reach to the vagina of the females. And they are motile. And female gamete, that is ova, which is not motile, released from the ovary. Then spermatogonia that undergo meiosis to produce sperm, because sperms are also haploid structure. These are male reproductive, or we can say male gamete. And region outside the seminiferous tubules, masses of cells are there, and these cells are known as leading cells. And leading cell is responsible to secrete androgen hormone, or we can say testosterone. Now come to the duct system. Duct system, that is reti testes, epididymis, vas deferens, urethra. So seminiferous tubules open into vasa efferentia through reti testes. As I told you, reti testes, these are present within the testes only. Several vasa efferentia leave the testes and open into epididymis. That means first is reti testes, then vasa efferentia, then epididymis. And it is the longest one, as I told you, located along the posterior surface of each testis. And epididymis open into vas deferens. That, as I told you, that longest one, so that ascend to abdomen and loop over urinary bladder. That means it entered inside the abdominal cavity. And I told you testes, these are present the scrotum, which is present outside the abdominal cavity. It receives duct from seminal vesicle because it is a gland. It secretes some fluid and forms semen. What is semen? Semen is a mixture of fluid along with the sperm, and open into urethra. as ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct means which releases something outside. These ducts store and transport sperm from testes to outside the urethra. And urethra originates from urinary bladder and extends through penis to its external opening called urethral meatus. Means the opening of urethra is known as urethral meatus, that is present in penis region. Accessory gland, that is prostate gland. Prostate gland actually, it forms about 20% of semen. Its location is, it surrounds the urethra, that means it present nearby urethra and produces milky secretion. It is large spongy gland. You have to prepare it well. So its function is, it activates the sperm and provide nourishment to the sperm. It activates the sperm and provide nourishment to the sperm. Now seminal vesicle. So it is also present in pair. Sacculated means small sac-like glands present in the pelvis between bladder and rectum. That means pelvic region is that below the abdominal cavity, or we can say lowermost part. Their duct join the vas deferens. Means seminal vesicle releases fluid that get joined to vas deferens. The long, that is also a tube in which all the glands secrete their secretions in vas deferens, and it forms major portion of the semen, that is about 60%, and it is rich in fructose. Fructose is what? Fruit sugar, citrate, and several proteins which activate spermatozoa. Children, there is a difference in spermatozoa and sperms. Spermatozoa, that means which form sperms, and stimulate vaginal contraction. Now last one is that we can call this as Cowper's gland or vulvourethral gland. One pair small means pea size and present at the base of penis, and its function is, it provide the lubrication to the penis. Now children, as we completed, just in short, I am going to tell you once more. Testes are the primary sex organs which produces sperm. Leading cells are also there in between the seminiferous tubule, which secrete androgen hormone, very important hormone responsible for secondary sexual characters. Duct system is there, well defined duct system which carry the sperm from the testes to outside because it has to release in the vagina. Now glands that secrete certain fluid which mix with sperm and form a semen. So easily it can flow and sperm get the nutrition also. That are seminal vesicle, prostate gland and Cowper's gland. Seminal vesicle that constitute about 60% of the total semen. That means it releases more fluid. Now human female reproductive system. You draw the diagram from your book, NCERT book. Sorry children, that external genitalia I forgot. So external genitalia, that is penis, it is a long muscular organ, and it is, we can say it is a copulatory organ also because it helps in copulation. Copulation means releasing of sperm into the vagina. It is having the vascular spaces. It is vascularized also, erectile tissue. And when male is sexually excited, it fills with blood and penis become erect for copulation. And the distal end of penis, distal means the terminal end, it called glans penis. Glans penis is covered with smooth skin called foreskin. That means penis that represent the external genitalia of male reproductive system. It acts as a copulatory organ also. When it become erect, at that time it behave as a copulatory organ. The terminal part of is called glans penis and it is covered with a smooth skin called foreskin. Now, female reproductive system. It is composed of pair of ovaries that are primary sex organs in the female. Duct system is also there to carry the egg. And external genitalia, then mammary gland, that also comes in female reproductive system. So duct system actually fallopian tube is there which acts as a site of fertilization. Actual place is ampullary isthmic junction. Fallopian tube that has three parts, that is infundibulum, ampulla and isthmus. Then uterus, cervix and vagina all act as a duct system because they carry the egg as well as vagina, cervix, uterus that help in flowing of sperms to the fallopian tubes. Now external genitalia means which is present outside the, or we can say which is present in the pelvic region, the lowermost part of the abdominal cavity. That is mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora and then clitoris, hymen. 5 parts are there, clitoris and hymen. External genitalia we study, then mammary gland that we learn afterwards. So once again you can see from here fimbri. Fimbri actually it is a finger like projection that is a part of infundibulum only. Ampulla is the widest part and isthmus is the last part. Uterus that has 3 parts, perimetrium, myometrium and endometrium. Cervix and vagina. Now ovaries. These are one pair, small sized. These are 2 to 4 centimeter in length, 1 to 5 centimeter in width and 1 centimeter in thickness. And these are almond shaped structure present in pelvic region. One on each side of uterus. These are also in pair. Each ovary is attached to pelvic wall and uterus by double fold of peritoneum. By the double fold of peritoneum. Ovary is internally lined by germinal epithelium. Inner stroma is differentiated, that inner part that is differentiated in stroma or matrix, and that is again inner stroma if we talk is differentiated into outer cortex and inner medulla. And there are number of small oval or rounded developing primary follicle. We know that in ovaries that follicle is already present, means since from the birth, after that no egg formation takes place in the human female ovary. Each month primary follicle that transform into Graafian follicle and that is released from either side of the ovary. It may happen sometime the Graafian follicle is released from both the ovary. In that cases there is chances of non-identical twins. Later on I will describe it. Let me finish first. So that Graafian primary follicle when transformed into Graafian follicle, that is always takes place in the influence of follicle stimulating hormone, that is FSH. So primary follicle that get converted into Graafian follicle in the presence of follicle stimulating hormone. Now oviduct. These are two small tubes about 10 to 12 centimeter in length lying on either side of uterus. Each fallopian tube is differentiated into 3 parts. Each fallopian tube is differentiated into 3 parts. Ampulla. Actually, ampulla is the widest part. We can say infundibulum, ampulla and isthmus. Infundibulum, it is that part which are having finger-like projections in order to receive the egg. Ampulla, that is the widest part which opens in abdominal cavity and close to ovary. Then isthmus, the last part which is ciliated and which join the uterus. Site of fertilization is ampullary isthmic junction. Now uterus, it is large, 8 centimeter in length, 5 centimeter in width and 2 centimeter in thickness. It is a hollow muscular organ which is having inverted pear shaped, present in pelvis. Pelvis means between urinary bladder and rectum. Rectum, you know, it is a part of large intestine which store the waste material temporarily. The lowermost part of uterus is very narrow called cervix, and cervix along with vagina form a birth canal. Uterus is divided into 3 parts: perimetrium, myometrium and endometrium. Perimetrium, it is a thin outer part. Myometrium, it is middle thick part. Because implantation of the fetus take place through this layer only. Layer of smooth muscle fiber which contract strongly during delivery of baby. Endometrium, inner layer that contain glands and many blood vessels. It undergoes cyclic changes during menstrual cycle. Each month it becomes thickened also. Now vagina, it is about 7.5 centimeter, fibromuscular tube, highly vascular and lined by mucous membrane to provide the protection. And it also function as for partition children, that means delivery of a child. Function as copulation canal also, because here only penis releases sperm. Gestation period, you have to learn this also. Gestation period, the time period in which development of a baby take place. For example, in human beings, it is about 9 months. So these terms, gametogenesis, formation of gametes, these are very common in the reproductive system. Now mammary glands. Human female has pair of mammary glands that contain glandular tissue and fatty tissues. Each glandular tissue divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes, or each lobe that consists of allelibuli. Allelibuli open into mammary tubule and mammary tubule open into small mammary duct. So, once again, allelibuli that opens into mammary tubule opens into a small mammary duct. Now, several mammary ducts join to form bider mammary. Ampulla is always a bide part. Remember it. That is connected to lactiferous duct. And lactiferous duct is a duct through which milk is sucked by a baby. Now, external genitalia of human female, that is known as vulva. Always remember this term, vulva. It consists of numerous parts. Mons pubis. Mons pubis, actually it is a cushion of fatty acids which are hairs present on it. Labia major. Labia means the lip-like structure. So, 2 folds of fatty tissues which extends down from the mons pubis and surrounds vaginal opening. And inside the labia majora, labia minora are present that contain opening of urethra. Now clitoris, finger-like structure which lies at the upper junction of 2 labia minora above the urethral opening. So what clitoris is important, you have to remember it. It is a finger-like structure which lies at the upper junction of 2 labia minora. Labia means the lip-like structure. That means clitoris which is present above the urethral opening. Hymen. Actually, it is a mucous membrane that cover the vagina either partially or fully. It is broken down in some of the sports also, or sometimes or in first coitus or first time when releasing of sperm in vagina. So children, I hope you understand all these things. Once you read by yourself, you will get it easily, and whatever doubts you have, you can write and ask me. Otherwise, at the time of school opening, once again I will explain everything. And complete your notes. Draw the essential diagram. Soon we will complete it. Take care.